Hey there, hi there, ho there, it's Wispipedia. With Onslaught and Into the Light just around the corner, I'm getting really excited about all the different stuff we're going to get to try out. One of the things I'm most excited about when it comes to a Horde mode is going to be trying out and tweaking builds in Onslaught to see how effective they'll be. Of course, we don't know exactly what will be the strongest stuff to throw out the new activity, but I've got a few setups that I'm excited to try out. Today I'm going to focus on Titan builds, tomorrow I'll talk about Hunters, and then Warlocks on Tuesday. I'll also suggest a few different weapons and perks to pair with the builds as well. These will probably be pretty similar to some popular GM builds, but I'm going to focus a bit more heavily on ad clear than DPS for most of these builds. I'm also going to try to avoid overly obvious setups like Solar Warlock with a well. Everyone knows well is going to be a must-have. We're going to try to think a little outside of the box. Most of these will be pretty versatile, so you can swap out aspects, fragments, and mods to your heart's content. Also, the weapons you use will depend a lot on what kind of champions are in Onslaught. Some flexibility will be necessary there. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to start here because both of the builds actually use the same seasonal mods. The main two will be Flint Striker and Kindling Trigger. Kindling Trigger gives you the ability to deal Scorch to combatants while you're Radiant, and Flint Striker gives you Radiant when you land rapid precision hits or deal rapid final blows with solar weapons. The best thing is that this procs no matter which subclass you have equipped. Alright, first up, the Strand Titan build. The entire goal for this first build is to be able to suspend everything as much as possible. There's a lot of versatility when using Strand, so you can make some changes to this if you want, but I really like this setup as it can do a lot of crowd control. The most important thing for this build is to equip a Bant Leap. We're going to be leaning into Suspend and Woven Mail a lot for this build. For the abilities, we're going to use the Shackle Grenade. We're going to build into it a lot, so don't let the 2 minutes and 32 seconds cooldown timer scare you. You can use whichever barricade you want. The cooldown timer is much faster on a rally barricade, but the towering barricade does provide more cover. That's up to your discretion. For aspects, you're going to want Drenger's Lash and Into the Fray. Drenger's Lash is self-explanatory here, I hope. You cast your barricade, you suspend things. You could swap Into the Fray for Banner of War or Flechette Storm, as they both provide some survivability and damage output potential for your team. I'm going to use Into the Fray today though, because it works well with the fragments in this build, and because I like having Woven Mail, and being able to give it to my teammates as well. The fragments I'm using are Thread of Mind, Thread of Wisdom, Thread of Generation, and Thread of Continuity. Thread of Mind helps you get class ability energy, which plays into Drenger's Lash extremely well. Thread of Wisdom is great because you can continually spawn orbs of power since you're trying to suspend everything anyway. If you pop on some kickstart mods, which we'll cover next, you'll have more grenade and class ability uptime. Thread of Generation further increases grenade uptime, and Thread of Continuity just keeps things suspended for longer. For mods, Harmonic Siphon is helpful. You'll already be creating a ton of orbs from Thread of Wisdom, but we'll also be getting multi-kills with Tusk. I put 2 Siphon mods on. Grenade Kickstart is a must. That's why we're leaning into Orbs of Power so much. It just helps us keep the grenade ready to go. I also have 2 Innervation mods equipped on my legs to help with this. Don't forget that you're going to be popping barricades a bunch as well, so you'll probably want a couple Bomber mods and Distribution equipped as well. I usually equip reserves for whatever heavy I'm running, so it's Solar for now. All of these will help you keep your grenade and barricade up so that you can suspend everything. Let's talk about weapons. Tusk of the Boar. It is so much fun. If you don't have a good roll of it yet, you have tonight and tomorrow to grind out a good drop. Envious Assassin and Chain Reaction is the roll that I'm using, but there are a few fun rolls that you can get on this thing. Keep in mind that the champions you're up against will determine your weapon choices, but in this video I'm using an Igneous Hammer. I'm utilizing the seasonal mods that give Radiant after multiple precision hits so that it's easier to defeat the barrier champions here. Your energy weapon will probably be determined at least partially by the champions you're up against, but I like using solar weapons right now. Anything with Incandescent will pair well with suspending targets as they'll also usually be grouped up. For the heavy slot, I'm using Dragon's Breath because I'm already leaning into the solar and strand mix anyway. It's also very strong and fun to use. It's even better once you're Radiant, so you might want to hit a few precision hits first. I'm also using Dragon's Breath to get more kills for its Catalyst. I did also just get a Marcato with Slice and Onslaught that would probably be fun too. I may end up using Cataphract, but that's more for boss DPS than ad clear. Some perks you want to look out for overall are Slice, Hatchling, Incandescent, or Demolitionist. These three should be obvious as they work with the subclass verbs, but Demo is really just helpful because it can give you more uptime with a suspend grenade. I really just enjoy Strand a lot, and it's incredibly easy to control the battlefield when you're running a good suspend setup. It makes most endgame PvE extremely simple, and it can allow you to get out of sticky situations. Also, the Berserker super is really strong, so it can be extremely useful if you get overwhelmed. The main goal of this build is to keep your grenade and barrier refilled so you can suspend anything and everything, and if the enemies are grouped up, it should be really easy to get some ridiculous chain kills with Tusk of the Boar. It'll play into the synergy of the build really well. Our second build is a solar build that revolves around Pyrogale Gauntlets. They're a really fun exotic to use, and they can provide a lot of easy heals and buffs. They're also good for multi-kills, as the area of effect for Consecration is fairly large. These gauntlets boost the effectiveness of Consecration, and convert the Burning Maul into a single hit super that spawns a fire tornado that deals a lot of persistent damage. And yes, that is exactly as awesome and fun as it sounds. For abilities, the choice of barricades is completely up to you. Same for the jump. You can either use the throwing hammer or the shoulder charge. If you're worried about maneuverability, use the shoulder charge. The hammer will provide you with easy heals so long as you hit a target, so I'd lean more towards that personally. I have the healing grenade equipped as well for extra heals too. Again, you can pick whatever you want there. For the aspect, Consecration is a must use. Pyrogale Gauntlets buff your Consecration a ton, so it's basically mandatory. I like using Sol Invictus as well. This aspect allows you to create sunspots on solar ability kills, which damage and scorch enemies and even apply restoration to you. For the fragments, we'll be using Ember of Searing, Ember of Char, Ember of Torches, and Ember of Explosion. Ember of Searing will help create more fire sprites and give you more melee energy for more Consecration uptime. It also grants 10 recovery. Ember of Char allows our ignitions to spread Scorch to affected targets, which plays into Ember of Searing well. Ember of Torches gives Radiant to nearby allies when you use a powered melee attack against combatants. And Ember of Eruption gives our ignitions a wider area of effect and gives us 10 strength. That helps us keep Consecration up as well. As for mods, I use a couple Harmonic Siphons as they're cheap and effective. I also have Melee, Kickstart, Equipped, and Heavy-Handed. Heavy-Handed lets my Consecration create an Orb of Power, and Melee Kickstart converts that Orb of Power into melee energy. I also have 2 Invigoration mods equipped on my legs to help with melee cooldown. I've also got Elemental Charge equipped so that fire sprites can count towards Armor Charge. I have 2 Outreach mods equipped on my mark. These reduce melee cooldown when I use my class ability. And a Powerful Attraction mod, which collects nearby Orbs of Power when I activate my class ability as well. Again, I have a solar mod equipped because I'm using Dragon's Breath. Speaking of, let's talk weapons. The setup here is exactly the same as my Strand build, but the solar weapons have a bit more synergy this time. Tusk of the Boar is basically for Barents, but in the kinetic slot. I have my Igneous Hammer and my Dragon's Breath. However, if I weren't fighting unstoppable champions, I would likely swap in my Summoner, my BXR, or maybe Polaris Lance in the energy slot. I would also consider popping on my Impulse Amplifier, Chain Reaction, Roar of the Bear, and my Heavy if I didn't want to use Dragon's Breath. Since this is a solar rocket launcher, it would also have extra Scorch damage thanks to the seasonal artifact mods. Other perks I'd look for this build would be Incandescent, Chain Reaction, and Pugilist. Chain Reaction is really helpful for add clear on a rocket launcher. Pugilist would help you keep Consecration up longer, and Incandescent helps you scorch more targets more quickly. Overall, this build will provide a ton of heals and buffs for you and your teammates. Solar can get pretty wacky, and it can be a lot of fun setting fire to all of your enemies. I'm hoping that it'll be effective in Onslaught as well. I'm sure the add clear will make this setup pretty potent. So there you go, 2 Titan builds for Onslaught. I hope you enjoyed this video and are looking forward to Onslaught as well. Tomorrow I'll be sharing 2 builds for Hunters, and then I'll be sharing 2 for Warlocks on Tuesday. See you soon! Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments about what builds you're bringing to Onslaught, and do the usual YouTube things. Like and sub. Follow me on Twitch to catch more of my Destiny stuff. Also, check out the Dojo Discord and my own personal Discord server, The Lantern. If you're looking for folks to play games with, I can't recommend a better community than these two. There are a bunch of lovely people there, and I've made a bunch of great friends who play a number of different games together. I definitely recommend checking us out. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you drink your water, get good sleep, and take care of yourselves. And I'll catch you next time.